So we're going to talk about affordability first of all. You're going to have to find out, do I qualify for a mortgage or do I not qualify for a mortgage? Am I able to afford or not? That's why we use the GDSR. It stands for the gross debt service ratio. Okay? It basically figures out if you can afford a house. We'll calculate that. And here's what I call the magic number. Your GDSR must not exceed 32%. Okay? How do we calculate the GDSR? Here it is. Emphasis on, I'm going to use a different color for this. What's the word that keeps on coming up everywhere here? The word monthly. Your monthly mortgage payment plus your monthly property taxes plus your monthly heating bill divided by, all of this is going to be divided by your monthly income. One thing that's missing here, please put giant brackets around this whole thing, because I want you to first do all of this and then multiply by 100. Okay? I need to give you a warning here. Note annual or yearly amounts. You divide by 12 to get it to monthly. Okay, if they say the annual heating cost or the yearly heating cost or anything that has these two words attached to it, make sure you divide it by 12 before you plug it in here. Another one. I need to add this because this happened last year. They were just sneaky on us. I don't know why they did that. But if you ever have weekly, do you remember grade 10 income weekly? If you want to go from weekly to monthly, you can't just multiply your weekly by 4. I don't know, do you remember that? It's not accurate. What you need to do is you need to take the dollar amount, multiply it by 52, then divide it by 12 to get it to monthly. Okay, so if they give you the weekly, you need to take that number, multiply by 54 to get your annual amount. 52, sorry, did I say 54? 52. Then divide it by 12. And just to be safe, what if they had said bi-weekly? If they, times what? 26, do you know that? Bi-weekly, there's 26 bi-weekly every 2 weeks. I don't know where to fit that. Maybe we'll do that later on our study sheet, okay? But this should be somewhere next to this, and this should also be somewhere next to this. I have to create more room here. Maybe I'll do that right here. Bi-weekly to monthly. It's the dollar amount times 26, then divided by 12. And I think I will do that. I will make that appear so that you are prepared for it. So I would add these boxes next to this big formula. So here it is again. The monthly housing costs must not be greater than 32%. If it's greater than 32%, you will not be approved for the mortgage. Okay. So here it is one more time, so you understand. GDSR. Imagine that this is your 32% line. If it's above it, you will not be approved. If it's below it, approved. That's good. This is bad. Okay. And here's what I want you to understand. What are we adding up? What are the three things that we're adding up? Mortgage payment, property tax, heating bill. These are considered housing costs. We're comparing that to your monthly income. If this is your income, if this pie chart here is your income, we want the housing, okay? We want the mortgage, the property tax, and the heating to be less than a third of your entire income, okay? So this is housing. These three is what we consider housing costs. And you need money to live, right? You need groceries, you need gas, you need transportation, all of that. So the bank wants to make sure that these three do not add up to more than 32% of your income. Got it? Let me see. Property taxes. Every homeowner in Winnipeg pays property taxes. So there's no way to get around it. And heating, obviously every house needs to be heated because you live in Manitoba, right? Another formula here, if you wouldn't mind. Maximum housing costs. You take your monthly income, you multiply it by 0.32. Because remember, 32% is the max you can spend on housing. So this is how you do it. That's it. This formula also needs to come on there. Maximum mortgage payment, which is your maximum housing you can spend. You subtract the heating, you subtract the property taxes. I'm going to give this a different color. You take away the heating, and you take away your property taxes. I will make a bracket down here if you wouldn't mind adding that. This is your maximum housing. So let's say I make $10,000 a month. I'm just saying, I'm not making that much. Okay, don't be too excited about that. 32% of 10,000 is $3,200. That's the maximum that the bank would allow you to spend on housing. But if you want to know how much can you actually afford to pay on that mortgage itself, just the mortgage, you subtract the heating cost and you subtract the monthly property taxes to be left with like the remaining amount that you can actually spend on the mortgage itself, on that loan. Let's go and do a few examples here. Oh, I don't have much time, so let's go. The Oliviers have a combined family income of $5,800. So combined, everybody that's in that household. What's the maximum they could spend on housing? It's already a monthly amount. Oh, it doesn't say it, does it? Can we just say, can we add monthly? It should tell you whether this is monthly or yearly. So just add that. I forgot to add the thing. So maximum housing, I use the formula. Income times 0.32. So it's 5,800. It's already monthly. We multiply that 0.32. And we get 1,856. By the way, this is going to go, this is taking care of three things: mortgage, heat, and property tax. So this is how much you can spend on all three. That's what you just found out. Continuing, the Olivers estimate that the houses they're looking for, they charge approximately, or they cost $180 to heat, and the property taxes are approximately $3,800 per year. What's the maximum mortgage payment you can make? It's going to be income times 0.32. That's the maximum I can spend on housing. I'm going to subtract the heating, and I will subtract the tax, property tax. Everybody in Winnipeg pays property taxes if they own a home. That's for garbage collection, all of that. Okay, so income, I'm going to copy paste. We already did this part up here, but please write it down anyways. The heating is already monthly amount. What about the taxes? Can we do this? It's a yearly amount, so watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to show whoever's reading this that, oh, we have to divide that by 12 to get it into a monthly amount. This we already know. Minus 180, minus what's this as a, in a monthly, 316, yeah, 316, 6, 7. And then it's, so the maximum I can spend on my mortgage is this, right? Because I take away the heating and I take away, it's basically saying this, guys, this you cannot negotiate. When I look for houses, there's an estimated heating cost and there's the property taxes that they pay. You cannot negotiate that. That is fixed. So what we do is we take that away from what the bank would allow us to spend on housing, and this is what you can spend on the mortgage payment. But this is the max. Obviously, if you go less than that, that'd be even better. Okay. One more, and then we're done. I think I'm going over time. I know it. I can't help it. Xavier is wanting to buy a house with a property tax of $3,600 a year. That's important. Heating costs are estimated to be $250 a month. He looks up an online calculator, determines the mortgage payment. The mortgage payment is going to be $1,450 a month. And he earns $55,000 per year. Can I just say something? It's all the income, it's all combined. Like if they mention like Susie makes $50,000 and Xavier makes $60,000, we combine those, right? It's the household income that we're considering. Both of them are going to own the house, obviously. That's what we're assuming. So let's do the GDSR. It calls for a mortgage payment plus heat plus tax. All of that divided by income. All of that times 100. On the side, I'm going to do some additional math here. Taxes. It's $3,600 divided by 12. We know that that's $300 a month, right? What else is in yearly amount? The income. Income. It's $55,000 divided by 12. No, I went times 12. I'm like, what? 4,583, $1,058.33. So this is very important to do this on the side. So my mortgage payment is $1,450. Heat is $250. It's already in monthly. Taxes right here, $300. All of that divided by 4,583.33. All of this times 100. Let's add, please don't do this in one shot. Do one thing at a time. So 1,450 plus 250 plus 300, it's 2,000. Once I have the top, it's like cosine law, right? Do the top, do the bottom. The bottom is already done. So now I'm going to divide. And I multiply that by 100. 4364. What is our answer in? It's times 100. So you have to have a percentage. That is your final answer. Will Xavier be approved for the mortgage? No. Why? Thank you. The 32% has to be there. Remember, expected value, positive or negative, has to be part of your answer. If you don't mention 32%, you're not going to get the mark. As well as it's written, you're not going to get the mark. So please make sure. No, since his GDSR is above 32%. That's all you have to say. That's all you have to say. So he's not going to get approved. Like, no, no deal. It's not going to work. How can he still get in? How can he still get approved? He would like that kind of house. You can increase the down payment. You can increase the amortization. What is that? Right? Take longer. Take longer. Why is that a good idea? Why would that allow you to qualify? What happens when you take longer to pay? What happens to your payment in general? It goes down. If you increase the down payment, what happens to your payment in general? It goes down. So that's basically what I've done here. Please don't say don't use the heat as much or don't pay as much property taxes, because you can't argue with that. Like, you cannot change that. Thank you, guys. I would say if you want to try it, page 13 to 14.